God chose you over your siblings. When God chose you over your siblings, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a coin toss. It wasn't luck. It was destiny. There's a reason the ball is in your hands. There's a reason the light shines on your path. God saw something in you that others couldn't. Maybe you didn't grow up the strongest. Maybe you didn't grow up with the loudest voice. But you grew up with the heart, the grit, the mindset to carry the mission forward. Your siblings have their path. Their lane is theirs. But your calling, that's divine. When you were doubted, when people whispered, "Why them?" That's when God whispered, "Because I see what they don't." This is not about being better. It's about being chosen to carry a responsibility. With that responsibility comes pressure. With that pressure comes growth. Sometimes you'll feel the weight of expectation. Sometimes you'll question why you were picked when you didn't even ask to be. But here's the truth. God doesn't choose the loudest. He chooses the most willing. He doesn't pick the most talented. He picks the most resilient. And that's why you're here. Divine selection is not random. There's a reason you were chosen. And it has nothing to do with coincidence. Destiny doesn't flip a coin. It doesn't throw darts in the dark. When you were picked, it wasn't because you were the loudest or the most visible. It was because there was something in you that could handle the weight of a bigger mission. Being chosen means being set apart. It means while others may live for the moment, you are being prepared for something that echoes far beyond today. It's a sign that your path was drawn with intention, even when you didn't understand the why behind it. Every time you doubt why it's you and not them, remember that greatness isn't measured by applause, it's measured by endurance. You weren't placed in this position to fit in. You were placed here to stand out in responsibility and strength. Some people confuse being chosen with being favored. It's not about favoritism, it's about purpose. There's a role to fulfill, and not everyone can carry that. God doesn't always choose the most talented. He chooses the most ready, the most willing to rise when others stay seated. You may feel the weight of expectation press against your chest, but that pressure is proof you have something inside that can bear it. You may wonder why it wasn't your brother, your sister, your friend, but they weren't called to carry what you're carrying. This selection means preparation will be intense. It means your journey won't look like anyone else's, and that's okay, because the path of the chosen is never crowded. It's often lonely, often misunderstood, but always purposeful. Divine selection demands that you rise above the noise. When everyone is laughing, you're focused. When others are chasing attention, you're building a foundation. Because you're not in this for now, you're in it for impact. Every time you feel overlooked by people, remember you were handpicked by God. People's approval is a shadow compared to divine assignment. Don't waste your time trying to make everyone understand your path. They weren't in the room when your name was called. It's easy to think, why me? But the better question is, why not me? If you've been entrusted with this role, you already have what it takes. It may be buried deep under doubt, pain, or inexperience, but it's there. The ones who are chosen are rarely the ones everyone expects. They are often the ones no one saw coming. You may not have the biggest resume, the most recognition, or the loudest voice, but you have the most important thing, a calling. Being chosen means you'll be stretched in ways that break normal limits. It means you'll be trained by pressure, sharpened by challenge, and molded by sacrifice. The world may not celebrate your early steps, but they will feel your impact later. This is not about being better. It's about being assigned. It's about being placed on a stage you didn't ask for, but you're built to perform on. Stop wishing for someone else's journey and embrace the power of yours. Every great purpose requires a great weight. And that weight isn't punishment, it's confirmation. If you're carrying something heavy, it's because what you're building will be unshakable. The divine doesn't pick based on convenience. It picks based on capacity. You have the capacity. That's why you were called. That's why you were chosen. That's why you can't quit. even when quitting feels easier and when you finally rise to the moment you were prepared for. You'll look back and realize that the selection wasn't random, it was written. Pressure is proof of purpose. Pressure is a language only the chosen can understand. It's the weight on your chest when everyone's expectations are high. It's the voice in your head saying, "Don't fail now." And yet, that pressure isn't your enemy, it's your confirmation. The more valuable the mission, the heavier the pressure. Diamonds aren't formed in comfort, they're forged under intense heat. That's what's happening to you. That pressure is proof you matter. When your siblings live life without the weight you carry, it doesn't mean they're luckier. It means you were given the responsibility to build something that others will benefit from. Pressure refines focus. It makes you cut off distractions. It forces you to show up differently. While others are sleeping, you're studying. While they're complaining, you're building. Pressure creates leaders. Every great leap in your life will come with a moment where you wanted to give up under the weight. But if you push through it, that same pressure becomes your platform. You'll have moments where you feel like breaking. That's normal, but breaking doesn't mean you're finished. It means you're being shaped. Cracks are proof of the stretch before the breakthrough. Pressure doesn't destroy the chosen. It reveals them. It strips away the unnecessary and forces out the essence of who you really are. Every time life gets harder, every time the demands get louder, every time people expect more than you think you can give, that's the moment you're growing the most. You can't run from pressure and expect to carry purpose. The come as a pair. One is the weight, the other is the reward. Pressure will isolate you. It will make you feel like no one else understands. But that's because few are carrying what you're carrying. The chosen don't complain about pressure, they use it. They let it sharpen their decisions, harden their discipline, and refine their vision. When pressure comes, it's a sign the next level is near. Nobody applies pressure to something they plan to leave where it is. Pressure is always the prelude to movement. If you feel the squeeze, lean into it. That squeeze is pushing out your potential. It's telling you something inside you is ready to come out. Don't curse the pressure, embrace it. It's the training ground for those who are trusted with more. And one day, when you carry the weight effortlessly, you'll remember that the pressure wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Comparison kills. Calling comparison is the thief of destiny. The moment you start measuring your life against your siblings, you lose sight of your own path. Your calling is unique. Their journey is theirs. Their wins do not cancel your wins. Their timeline is not your timeline. When you spend your energy watching someone else's lane, you stop running in yours. That's how the chosen waste their strength, not by failing, but by comparing. Comparison breeds insecurity. It whispers lies that you're behind, that you're less, that you're forgotten. But the truth is, you're right where you need to be. Your siblings may have what looks like ease. They may have recognition, but that doesn't mean they're more significant. It means their assignment is different. Every time you look at their success and feel small, remember this: their victory is not a threat to yours. The sky is big enough for all stars to shine. Stop counting what's in their hands and start cultivating what's in yours. Because what you plant will grow. If you water it, comparison distracts, and distraction delays destiny. Stay in your lane. Build your lane. Own your lane. When God chose you, He didn't ask you to be them. He asked you to be you, authentic, resilient, and focused. The chosen understand this truth. Applause for others doesn't silence your future. It sets the stage for your turn. Celebrate your siblings. Celebrate their wins. But never forget their success does not define your worth. Comparison blinds you to your own blessings. Gratitude opens your eyes to how far you've already come. Every second you waste looking sideways is a second you could be moving forward. You were chosen because you're different, not because you're a copy. Stop competing. Start building, and when you stay true to your lane, you'll realize there was never a race against them. It was always a race against your own potential. Silent preparation builds giants. The loudest seasons aren't always the most powerful. The quiet ones are. Those moments where no one is watching, no one is clapping, and no one is asking about your progress. That's where the chosen are built. When God prepares you in silence, it's because your foundation matters more than your visibility. A building without a strong foundation may look impressive at first, but it collapses under pressure. The world celebrates the visible, but the divine invests in the hidden. Your hidden work is not wasted. It's the seed of your future strength. Those nights when you're grinding in silence, those mornings where no one acknowledges your effort, those are the very bricks being laid for the stage you'll one day stand on. People will wonder how you rose so fast, but they didn't see the years you spent in the shadows learning, sharpening, and sacrificing. Silence is not a punishment. It's a privilege. It means you're being prepared without distraction, without noise, without the false applause that often deceives the unready. When your siblings seem ahead, when their lives look more exciting, don't confuse their noise for progress. Sometimes the noisiest journeys lead nowhere. The chosen understand that growth doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it's the roots going deeper, not the branches getting higher. Hidden seasons demand trust. Trust that your work matters even when nobody notices. Trust that your process is not in vain. Preparation in silence protects you. It shields you from premature exposure. It keeps you away from the critics until you're ready to withstand them. Every giant was once unnoticed. Every leader was once unseen. But their hidden seasons built their core. Silence also teaches discipline. It teaches you to work without applause, to believe without validation, to move without external fuel. The reason you're not yet celebrated is because you're still being constructed. You don't unveil a masterpiece before it's finished. Don't rush the silent season. Squeeze every lesson out of it. Build the habits now that will carry you when the spotlight finally hits and when the curtain lifts. The same silence that once felt like hiding will feel like the foundation of your strength. Responsibility over comfort. Being chosen isn't about living easy, it's about living ready. Responsibility will always outweigh comfort. When your name is called, comfort is tempting. It whispers, relax, slow down, take it easy. But comfort has never built a legacy. Comfort never stretched a leader. Comfort has never carried a calling. The reason your path feels heavier is because you're carrying something that matters. Others may live lighter, but you live with purpose. Your siblings might have less pressure because they weren't entrusted with this level of responsibility. That's not an insult. It's a distinction every chosen one learns early. You can't chase comfort and fulfill your assignment at the same time. One will always demand you sacrifice the other. Responsibility means saying yes when you'd rather say no. It means showing up when no one's watching. It means carrying what others drop. Comfort keeps you soft. Responsibility hardens you for impact. It creates resilience, a backbone that doesn't bend when life applies pressure. When you carry responsibility, you give up some luxuries. You lose the right to blame, to excuse, to delay, because the mission requires you now, not later. Comfort zones produce mediocrity. Responsibility zones produce greatness. Which one you live in determines your future. The chosen don't always like the load they carry, but they respect it. They know it's shaping them into someone who can't be ignored. Every time you choose responsibility over comfort, you plant a seed that will harvest in strength, wisdom, and influence. Comfort is about now. Responsibility is about forever. One fades, the other echoes. So stop looking for an easy lane. Stop craving the soft path. If you've been chosen, you've already been called to the hard one and the hard path. Though it demands more of you, gives back more than comfort ever could. Every setback is sacred training. Setbacks are not signals to quit. They're signals to grow. Every fall, every delay, every door that shut in your face, it wasn't rejection. It was redirection. The chosen experience setbacks more often because their path is heavier. You don't sharpen steel with silence. You sharpen it with friction. Your siblings may move smoother, but that doesn't mean they're further ahead. Sometimes the ones with the hardest roads are the ones destined to build the highest peaks. Every time you stumbled, something was being taught. Patience, focus, humility, resilience, lessons you can't learn in victory, only in struggle. Setbacks strip away ego. They expose your weaknesses so you can strengthen them. They humble you so you can handle the stage. When it comes, the chosen see setbacks differently. They don't see them as failure, they see them as refinement. Like a craftsman chiseling stone until the shape finally emerges. When life blocks your plan, it's usually making room for a better one. That delay wasn't to punish you, it was to protect you from being unprepared. Each closed door builds hunger. Hunger builds discipline. Discipline builds impact. You've never wasted a setback. The only way to waste one is to quit before the lesson is learned. Every pain in your journey becomes a tool in your hand. If you refuse to see it as wasted, setbacks create stories worth telling. They become the chapters that inspire others. When they see how far you've come, the chosen know how to bleed and keep moving. They know how to stumble and keep vision. Your siblings may not understand your setback because their journey didn't demand as much grit, but yours does. Don't ask, why me? When you fall, ask, what is this building in me? And when you rise from your setbacks, you'll be stronger than those who never fell. Leadership comes with loneliness. Leadership sounds glamorous until you live it. Until you realize that being chosen often means being misunderstood. You will have moments where the room is full, but your soul feels alone. That's the cost of carrying what others don't carry. Your siblings may share your blood, but not always your vision, and that's okay. They weren't meant to see what you see. Loneliness isn't a curse, it's a classroom. It teaches you how to lead without needing constant agreement. The chosen are often misunderstood because they walk where others won't. They make decisions others avoid. They embrace sacrifices others run from. Loneliness creates space for clarity. It makes you listen to your inner voice. It cuts out the noise that clouds your focus. Leadership will test your friendships. It will expose shallow loyalty. It will reveal who's with you for the journey and who was with you for the comfort. The nights when no one calls, when no one checks in, when no one understands, that's when you sharpen your resolve. Don't mistake loneliness for abandonment. God isolates to elevate. He pulls you out of the crowd so you can see further than the crowd. The chosen carry visions that feel too heavy to explain. Stop trying to make everyone understand. Some things are only clear once they're built. Loneliness will make you question yourself, but it's in that silence that you hear the direction you need. Most true leaders are born in rooms where nobody claps. They're shaped by nights where the only voice they hear is the one that refuses to let them quit. Loneliness is temporary. Legacy is permanent. Don't trade your mission for the comfort of the crowd, and when the moment comes where they finally see what you are building, they'll call you a leader, forgetting how long you led alone. Faith must outweigh feelings. Feelings are fragile. Faith is firm. If you lead with feelings, you'll quit. If you lead with faith, you'll win. The chosen can't afford to be slaves to their emotions. There will be days you don't feel strong, days you don't feel ready, days you don't feel chosen. But feelings lie. Faith doesn't. Faith says, keep going even when it hurts. Feelings say, stop, it's too hard. Which voice you obey will shape your future. Your siblings may move on emotion. That's their lane, but your lane demands something stronger. Faith is choosing to believe the promise over the pain. It's waking up and saying, I don't see it yet, but I believe it's coming. Every great journey starts with a step that felt impossible. Feelings would have said, wait. Faith said, walk. You can't wait to feel ready. You act, and the feeling catches up later. Faith builds discipline. Feelings build delay. Faith says, work now. Feelings say, maybe tomorrow. The chosen often feel the least qualified. That's why faith matters. It reminds you qualification isn't about what you feel, it's about what you're built for. When life shakes you, faith steadies you. Feelings won't. Faith must become your anchor, your fuel, your language. Speak it when you don't see it. Act on it when you doubt it. Stand on it when the ground feels like it's cracking. Feelings fade. They are seasonal. Faith is consistent. It's the rope you hold when the climb gets steep. You won't always see progress. That's where faith does its best work, in the dark. Your siblings may not understand why you move when nothing seems certain. But that's the difference between chosen and comfortable. Chosen act on faith, and every time you choose faith over feelings, you step closer to the future already written for you. Legacy over limelight. Limelight is temporary. Legacy is eternal. Being chosen isn't about who claps now. It's about who's changed forever because you stayed faithful. Your siblings may chase applause. That's their choice. But applause fades the moment the crowd leaves. Legacy doesn't live in headlines. It lives in hearts. It's the ripple you leave behind that outlasts your name. The chosen understand they're not building for today. They're building for tomorrow's tomorrow. Limelight feeds ego. Legacy feeds generations. Which one are you chasing? Every time you choose purpose over popularity, you build something that can't be erased. Fame is loud. Legacy is quiet but lasting. Fame can be taken. Legacy can't. Your siblings may be seen more than you, talked about more than you, celebrated more than you, but being seen isn't the same as being significant. The chosen are remembered not for the moments they were famous, but for the moments they refused to quit, when no one cared. Legacy is built in sacrifices no one sees, choices no one thanks you for, and battles no one claps for. Don't get addicted to limelight, get committed to legacy. The former makes you visible, the latter makes you valuable. Every day you choose impact over image. You write a story worth reading. Long after you're gone, the world will forget your name faster than you think, unless you build something worth their children remembering. Legacy asks, what are you leaving? Limelight asks, who's watching? Answer the first one, and when your time is over, your legacy will speak louder than the applause ever did. When all is said and done, remember this. Being chosen is not a title, it's a responsibility. It's not about being better, it's about being entrusted. God did not choose you to compete with your siblings. He chose you to carry something that couldn't rest on their shoulders. That weight you feel, it's not a burden to break you. It's a sign that you were built to rise where others might stop. Your journey will not always make sense to the people around you. There will be days you walk alone, nights when the applause is silent, and seasons where your efforts feel invisible. But the chosen don't measure their purpose by the noise of the crowd. They measure it by the echo they leave long after the moment is gone. So stand tall in the responsibility you've been given. Respect the process that shaped you, honor the silence that built you, and move forward with the faith that your selection was not an accident, it was an assignment. Your siblings have their own callings, their own battles, their own victories. Celebrate them, but never shrink your own, because one day, the very people who wondered why it was, you will understand exactly why. They'll see the fruit of your discipline, the impact of your resilience, and the legacy of your faith. You were not chosen to shine for a season, you were chosen to lead for a lifetime. And when your journey ends, may it end not with a question of why you, but with the undeniable answer. Because you were willing, you were faithful, and you never let the weight stop you from becoming what you were always meant to be.